I gotta be off by 12, which is a 3-hour game instead of a normal 5-hour game.
Oh, we should have got on earlier. I didn't realize.
Unfortunately, schedule changed a little bit today, and I'm like, fuck.
Do you have to work today?
I do.
I thought
Slap him in the face and tell him no.
You had a friend coming over today.
Yep. I got work and a friend, so we only got 3 hours, and let's do it. I'm ready.
All right.
Let's get this fucking done.
Okay.
Let's do some cultivation. Let's get some training on. That's not the thing I wanted to click on. Gosh dang it. There we go.
Well, checkpoint 2 has already been destroyed by the first session, or second session should in turn destroy checkpoint 1, right?
Well, hold on. The second session? What do you mean?
We are session 2, technically.
Group 2, Group 1.
Group 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Group 1 destroyed checkpoint 2, so Group 2 needs to destroy checkpoint 1.
But you fool. You guys are on different iterations. So, no.
Well, then it's only one checkpoint destroyed in each place, so not as big of a deal.
Yeah, no, the checkpoint still exists.
For now.
I mean, if you guys destroy it, I might just have it be destroyed for future games. It's a lot of effort, though.
I don't want to fight the Bureaumancer.
Yeah, checkpoint 1 seems kind of spooky to deal with.
What? No. It's fine.
Oh, okay. DM said it's fine, so.
It's cool. We got it.
Alright.
So Chun Po is a couple of days behind.
Yep. Mr. Poe, do you have those planned up by chance?
Well, yes, but I also have over 1,000 progress that needs to be put towards my second book, which is where I would probably spend those 2 days as well.
It was a forgotten 1,000 progress, miscalculated.
Miscalculated and overflow.
Yeah.
Because of I didn't put in the percentage for my spirit bone. I was only using Lore Keeper, and so I had gotten the Book of the Humbling Path done with even before a month, and so I have over 1,000 that I'm just like, oh, this should be going to my next book then.
All right. Have you picked another book that you wanted to?
Just the next one that would be because Lore Keeper did the separating them all, and I started at this is book 1, and then I would be going into book 2.
Do you remember the name of book 2?
I do not offhand remember it. I remember the first one was the Humbler's Path, or the Humble Path.
Humbling Path.
That one. Scrolling back to where I can actually see me being in the game. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so the Humbling Path of the 10 Forms, I got all that. And I had gotten 10% because of my spirit bone. Okay, so technically I need to go older then. Where is this?
Hey Matt, I'm gonna buy Health Matters.
Oh. Seems good. Good to health.
Okay, so I have the names of the books, but see, because I have a study of the humbling path, the next one that I think it is the study of breath, beating hearts, and the circulation of life-sustaining resources and energies. I believe, because that's what goes from 1 and then 2, but I could be wrong, but I could be wrong on the order anyways. That's when I started with the humbling path, okay. But I think the one that I'm supposed to do next is the study of breath, beating hearts, and the circulation of life-sustaining resources and energies.
Okay.
Unless it's the Great Leveler and the Grinding Stone.
You could always ask your master.
I will.
No, you had it right.
Okay. And how much progress do you want for the back to the name? The study of breath, beating hearts, and the circulation of life-sustaining resources and energies.
Let's get you some numbers.
Okay.
The demon that makes me yawn constantly. I hate this thing. I must kill it. Buttons, 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 buttons. Happy pasta, give me. No. Get your progress bar. Alright. Alright. So, stage 1. So, there are several stages that you'll have to accomplish. And they're only made available once you have gone through them. So, and done the actual active applied research.
Okay.
So, what this means is you will have to actually go out and do these things. So whether it's on yourself, on other people, you can hold a clinic, you can do all sorts of stuff.
With the 100, is there, because of the XP overflow, already would have gotten to the first 2 and then into the third one, but I have to actually have applied research to them all. Does my overflow stop at 100?
Well, you would more likely, if you follow your poison ability, let's see, I need to look at your character sheet, because, goofily enough, let's jump. Where do you keep your spirit bound?
My spare, what was it?
Your spirit bound. Spirit bound!
Oh, Spirit Bone is on the main page, player sheet, all the way down.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Spirit Bone Poison 2. It's,
Because even then, you're going to reduce 100 by 15%. So really, it's like 85 out of 100.
And then whatever, if I have Mini Lore Keeper with me, I think it's an additional 10% down.
Isn't that just crazy? So it's really 75%. So 75. Let's see. You can recklessly read through the book ahead, but you still have to apply your research.
Yeah, I kind of figured, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so 375 for the 500. And
The percentile reduction of total progress. Okay.
938 or rounding up for the other one. Okay.
Anything else?
Still got to do the 2 days. Most of this has already been accomplished. 938. Just trying to get. I'll go ahead and do. Well, let me go ahead and roll /R2D9 because we're gonna have to have that. So a total of 10 for HP lost. Actually, I'll just go ahead and spend the next 2 days taking a break and sitting out in the sun. Because
Right.
now I have, so 48 per DTA 6 18 18 times 3 and then times 2.
So, the book you're reading, the one that has the active applied research part, it's both a medical record and a poisoner's record. The entire study is around making sure people keep breathing and their hearts keep beating, and the things that keep them alive keep circulating. And the other half is making them stop. The first part is very straightforward. It follows breath.
Gotcha.
basically air. And one of the first ones is like, everyone goes through every day without any consequence normally to the air that they breathe in. And in fact, many a time, most don't even understand what they are breathing in. Only a very powerful or practiced or diligent cultivator analyzes every breath. Most of the time, meaning 90% of the time, it's too much. Even for a practiced cultivator to analyze everything they breathe in. It's even harder to process in case something comes in and you need to expel it before it's too late, or if you need to refine something or use the air around you in a more fulfilling capacity, or efficient capacity. It's even harder to refine or to process what you breathe in, because the lungs, unfortunately, they're not something people cultivate or even think about. It's all about the energy. It's all about muscles and bones and sinew and tendons and the ability to see, the ability to speak, listen. But at the end of the day, the air that you breathe in, including the diaphragm that helps circulate this air in and out, not many people put a lot of thought around breathing. There's some clans who specifically go out of the way to practice measured breath or use breathing to increase inner energy circulation, restore ki. There's even breathing arts that also increase cultivation or increase energy circulation or energy potency. But not a lot of people have the ability to control what they breathe in and what they breathe out. Use this to your advantage. Woe to you, though, if you find the cultivator who goes, I see you're using poison. And it's like, fuck. If he can analyze what you're breathing, or what he's about to breathe, just by taste alone on the air currents, he might be in a bit of trouble. But that's what the other parts of the book are for. Also, a room with no air is more potent than you'd think.
Is there a way that I could practice a breathing exercise to understand and basically filter air while I'm being a tree?
This book does not teach you the study of filtration. Most poisoners, it's a little too difficult for poisoners, as it mentions in the book, because of all the different things you do. Most of the time, poisoners wear a filtration mask. And if you don't, you're not long for this world, but damn, do you look badass.
Gotcha.
The reason being is, even if you were to make your own poisons, especially, and you use safety gear, it's going to be on you. The smell, the odor, the aroma. If you open a vial or apply a poison, it gets in the air. The first rule of being a poisoner is you poison yourself intermittently every time you apply poison. It just happens. The residue will be somewhere on your person. It'll be aerosolized the moment you remove the containment stopper or whatever is keeping the contents secure so that you can get access to it to use it. But the moment you gain access to it to use it to coat something with it or to splash somebody with it or put it in someone's tea or whatever, you're exposing yourself to it first. There are breathing techniques to not breathe this shit in. No matter how much you want to cough or to gag or basically to get this out of the air around you, there are breathing techniques in here that are basically like, yes, I know your lungs are on fire, but if you breathe in, bad things happen. If you exhale out, you won't have enough air. Hold that breath. There is an incense recipe that you can apply. Basically, it's a very, very minor poison. The incense causes irritation in the smoke in the air. You sit in a room, you meditate with it in front of you, and you try and endure.
Gotcha.
Basically, you have a set it so that there's circulation to the room, where there's moments where you can breathe, where the smoke doesn't come by. Because the smoke is very lazy, and you can track it. But eventually the smoke will come by, and you gotta prevent yourself from exhaling or breathing in the smoke, because it's very bad. It's a very, very mild irritant, but it works on cultivators.
Okay.
And the irritant can also be put in to use, because low-level cultivators don't know what to do against this mild irritant. The air is on fire, get me out of here.
Alrighty. And the active and applied research would creating that instance and then putting myself through it and training with it, and then how much training of it would that qualify?
Now here's the unfortunate bit, because one of my other buddies in the later game does this. In fact, both of them started doing it. One before the other, of course. This is where you practice the content until you think your character knows enough. And this can, unfortunately, produce a spot where your character just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but he thinks he does.
Understood.
It's very dangerous, because some of the stuff your character will be practicing and learning, he needs to thoroughly apply his knowledge. Which means you could go out and you may need to brew things, you may need to apply it to other people, because doing it to yourself would be bad. Sometimes you have to apply it to yourself. Like, for the first portion, it gave you a recommendation, but at the same time, it doesn't even come close to what was discussed about the art of breathing and its vulnerabilities and what was it going on about? The weaknesses around it, the observations. It may be the first part, but it's pretty frickin' thorough. So it's up to you about how you want to go about just researching the study of breathing.
Okay.
And of course, you can finish the book, but you'll have to do study and research of all three parts.
Gotcha.
The last one will be pretty in depth, but if you can master the last part, if people try and use energy around you, it's gonna be pretty bad, because you can eventually figure out just what type of energy they use and how it's moving through them. What moves they're about to use. It can be pretty spooky, but that requires some pretty intense training.
Alrighty. There's a few things that I want to ask and mention on that, but for the sake of not that much time, and I want everybody to be able to enjoy the time, I know for certain with my overflow that I would be in the second one, and I am about halfway through and I rounded, but I just called it 1,000 because I know it was like 1,070 some odd. But I was just like, okay, well, we'll just call it 1,000 for my overflow. And I hit the second one with the XP. So is that about beating hearts?
Mm-hmm. Beating hearts is yep. Go ahead.
Sorry, with me being a tree and I had a heart transplant, I'm curious as to what I do want to know what you have for just beating hearts in general, but that I'm just like, how do I train when my heart isn't pumping blood anymore? Or if it's even pumping anymore. Because I believe it's pumping poison.
It's still moving a little bit, that's why you're taking damage. Just a smidge.
Gotcha.
Give me a moment. I need to put this water in the tea kettle.
All good.
Okay. Water's in the kettle. Yay. Alright. My friend, about the beating heart. In the unfortunate case of your particular condition, the beating heart, a little bit harder for you to experience, but it's not just about the practitioner itself. There's a ton about the practitioner in this particular book, because most people don't. Well, they're not trees, basically, because you basically are a fucking tree.
Yep.
Or some sort of amalgam. I mean, you even photosynthesize, so you're a tree person. For people with beating hearts, especially the practitioner, tells you how beating heart can tell about your condition, how you can maximize your heart rate, minimize your heart rate. Basically, you can. It gives you tips and tricks and a little bit of an explanation about how to control your own heart rate for specific purposes. For you, you really don't want to slow down your current heart rate even further. Yeah. It'll remove the damage, but it may cause the sap in your body to turn into amber, crystallize, harden further, and that would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
You would be a very valuable resource, though. I mean, the poison amber of a specific grade. Oh boy, howdy! Somebody would come by and be like, "Oh, praise the path! Look at this rare resource I found." This poor dumb cultivator decided to, bite the dust. It does. On the other half, potentially teach you, because your heart's a bit different than the other ones, so is your complexion, speed up your heart rate. It'll cause you to take significantly more damage every day, or every DTS. But you would be able to get more out of your abilities. You would increase your energy efficiency. You would be able to increase your energy output. You might even have the ability to just passively regenerate Qigong if you get it fast enough. You might even be able to have it passively regenerate Ki. Well, poison Ki at least.
Okay.
But you're going to be taking a junk ton more damage, depending on how fast you want your heart rate to go.
If last thing for right now, if the completion of the Humbler's Path lowered or upped my spirit bone as well as lowered my die of damage on my poison.
Sure, I just give you more dice.
Fair enough. Okay.
Simple as that. Just more dice. As for heartbeats of others, they do recommend training your heightened senses because you can track basically a lot about a person, completely devoid of their facial features, their body language, their words, what their eyes are telling you. You can read a lot about a person's heartbeat. And not just their health, although that is a series of... you'll need to go into a bit of some of the physician's teachings, which will recommend some things, but...
Okay.
There's one physician's book if you can get your hands on it. This will be... the potency of understanding the heart will be multiplied by many magnitudes if you can get your hands on a physician's book. But it's one of their prized possessions. You'd have to steal it or kill someone for it.
Gotcha.
Physician's book. Yep, the heart within and without. Even mentioning this text can get you into a lot of trouble, because why are you looking for it? How do you know it exists? Are you a physician? Are you not? Just be careful. But if you can get this book and read it and actually master its contents, you'll see.
Gotcha.
But if you can learn all the stages of a heart and for why it beats that way, there's a lot you can learn from somebody. And then it teaches you a lot of ways to keep the heart beating and how to make it up.
Gotcha.
There are some pressure points that you can hit if you're a pressure point or an acupoint specialist that significantly reduce circulation and blood flow. There's also areas that can cause crippling damage. They also teach you a lot of different places where hearts are going to be on beasts. There is a big warning in there though. Beware the man with his heart on the other side of his chest, or a man with two hearts. It gives you a specific reason. The one with two hearts, he's got a unique physique. Sometimes there's a race of these people, but their circulation output, their internal wiring, all the veins and vessels are... basically everything about them's a special snowflake case, which you'll need to find one of the niche books about those people. Extra study required. The person with the heart on the opposite side means he's got a lot of things flipped and mirrored, but it's what they circulate. They circulate things in reverse, which means they are a living dead person. Basically, they have such a unique and powerful physique. They cultivate death key, which means the rules of the path really don't apply to them. They have their own rule set, and you trying to get their heart to stop merely makes them stronger. You're literally helping them cultivate. So all the techniques in this that they're teaching you how to make it stop, don't do those. Trying to get it to circulate faster could harm it, but at the same time, these techniques don't really work on those people. They do recommend just putting your blade through that heart as many times as possible. Just saying.
Understood.
Yeah. recommend studying, practicing, learning how to speed up and slow down your heartbeat. Also, the language of hearts, which is why does it beat? Why is it so fast? Why is it so slow? Did it jump when you said something? If you can listen to a person's heartbeat, it says a lot. And then how to get it to start or keep going and then stop. That's what you got to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you realize this is not. Yeah, a lot of this is something you can't learn from books. You have to go out and do it.
Alrighty. The last little bit of Chunpo just taking a stretch and coughing and see. I think I'd take Mini Lorekeeper with me. Just be like, all right, I'm going to go out, Master. I'm going to go outside and get some sun. And the next 2 days, you just see Chunpo standing there, and because I've upgraded my stuff, I gained 108 HP back. I took
Very nice. Being a tree is great.
Yeah.
All right. That means we're all lined up. We're all good to go. We're all back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'd like to train for 60 years.
Group agreement?
No, because we have only a few months before the tournament, which I would like to see just what I can accomplish within the tournament. And then in 10 years, I need to go to Bullet Hell Mountain and stay there for another 10. But, once we get to Bullet Hell Mountain, I'm more than welcome to just sit and do 10 years of training.
I said 60.
I know you said 60, but...
All right, we'll split the difference. 80.
What?
Okay. So, who has plans for things?
For things and stuff, as it turns out.
Oh, yeah, and stuff.
Well, I know that I want to talk to Lorekeeper, but, everybody else, I just did a lot of stuff, so,
Sure.
Savalaire, you got anything?
Yeah, I was going to talk to you, actually.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Bo, hope you're doing well. We missed you in the our first DAO discussion, but we'll get you for the next one.
Oh, yeah, I was, I found a lot of stuff, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Speaking of stuff, I wanted to tell you, because you're also reading the alchemy books, that I found some secrets that you might be interested in.
Oh. I would.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you'll find these secrets, but if you reread the books 1 through 4, and I could help you out in telling you about them, I suppose. So we could do a collaborative effect here, and you might be able to find some secrets for yourself. The thing I now have, as I look through my notes here, when you find all the secrets within those 4 books, there's a new fire control technique, and I don't know if you have one yet for your alchemy, right?
No, I do not. But I have a proposition for you, depending, that could speed up some time and benefit us both.
Oh, sure.
And,
what's this proposition?
Well, technically, you trade. Well, for my master and for what I've been learning is we trade secrets. And I'm not entirely sure how much your secrets are actually worth, and I am upset at myself that I didn't get it the first time, but I do have some bits of secrets
second, let me find where I put it.
I have 2 points of secrets and 6 essence of secrets. So 2 whole Dow points of secrets. I could trade you 2 Dow points worth of secrets. You tell me the secrets, and you could then use some. You could use the Dow points and trade for secrets that you want to find with my master. And I do value alchemy secrets.
So the way I'm understanding what you're describing here is that I would be giving away my new fire control technique.
I think you'd still keep it as well, but you would be telling me I would pay you for the secret itself, and then you could also then utilize secrets that you want that you don't know or don't know even how to approach. I believe that's how it would work. DM, I'm not sure. Matt? Hello? What? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Matt's just not talking.
Okay.
I'm doing the tea thing. It's finally cooked. I must steep it.
Okay.
So you're welcome to pay me in secrets. That would be cool. I still think it's better if we go through the books. Because you're not going to be able to see these without my help. I don't think you're not going to. I don't think you're going to put 2 and 2 together. Just with these eyeballs of mine, they're a little bit easier to find the truth of the matter.
Yes, and considering I missed them the first time, kicks myself. Just
well, there's 4 books. It should take us about 2 days to finish. In return, instead of secrets, what about some life Dow? Do you think you could give me some life Dow of yours?
Oh, sure. I mean, how much did you need? And like, how would
you? I need to improve my constitution. Something about myself. I've been taking damage every day. You see, I've been getting struck with lightning every day for a certain amount, and I'm going to continue to happen until I am more structurally sound, Chungbo. So if you have a way to give me more structure with your life Dow, maybe that's something we can do.
Oh, sure. Well, Chungbo kind of like leans in, just kind of like whispers to you. So I'm not entirely sure that the structure aspect would work. I have a way that, well, now I don't need to do it anymore, and thank the heavens for it, because it was something seen as taboo amongst the rest of the people that practice life. But you can. The only way that I know of is to consume it.
Of course.
And some people frown upon that. Personally, I don't see the difference in between a carnivore consuming something that they need to survive. But to each their own. But I think that would only, well, it might heal your structure, or it might make you sturdier, but it could also just heal you, and rather than boost you, if that makes sense. I'm not sure.
Yes. Maybe duality might have a way for us to utilize that Dow.
Yeah, my heart's poisoning me, so that's been my daily dose of damage, and I had to. Well, luckily, because of what I am turning into, I actually had a way to heal itself. It just was very problematic at first, but I'm dealing with it now.
I know how much health you do have. I can see that that aspect with my heaven's eye. But I am going to be taking more damage than you have health over time. So I'm trying to find a way to increase that number for myself.
Well, do you have a way to harness the energy to make it, instead of a blade being stabbed into you, more of something of a... could you use or harness it in a way that you utilize the lightning rather than it hurting you?
I'd have to talk to Duality about that because she is the one that is holding the damage off at bay for myself.
Ah, understood. Well, is there a way to geometrically deal with the damage? Well, either see it coming or to, I don't know, change an aspect of yourself again to where it just kind of, it's almost like a grounding rod?
Well, that would be nice, but for now, I'm only able to just take the damage.
I understand. I am suffering my own aspect of that.
Mm-hmm. Mistakes were made. But through mistakes, we prosper. All right, Changpo, let's get this started then.
Ready when you are. But let's see. Lyron, what do you have, besides 60 years of training, anything that you have planned?
Oh, I just plan on punching this post here until I feel better.
Understood.
Yep. I don't feel so good.
We have a new friend, by the way.
Oh. Who's this friend?
It looks around the corner, stares at you, and you're like, oh, fuck, I wish I didn't look. He's cute, but he's terrifying.
I don't... Let's see, is this icon, or is there an icon for the person that is...
It's on another map.
On the map.
You will not... Oh, gosh. Alright. Well, let's go to chat. See if I can find his image. He's around here somewhere. Well, guy. Which folder did I put you in? No, that's the meme folder.
Yeah, it's probably quicker just to go to the other map that we was on.
No.
Okay. You got this, fam.
No, I do got this, fam.
No.
It is, in fact, a you got this, fam moment. Do, 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 do. I also heard you needed moi.
Yes,
What do you need more for?
We're gonna go to the moon, Ori, and then work on some stuff together for a day or two.
The moon?
Yeah.
We
were asking. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Did you catch what I had said for the secrets of alchemy?
No. Because
Okay.
I was downstairs.
I understand. I was... so Savalaire had mentioned that he had found some secrets within the first 4 books of alchemy that I had missed, and I brought up the idea of trading the secrets for Tao points of secrets, and then Savalaire could possibly talk to Lorekeeper to then trade for secrets that he might want as well. But we had a question of whether or not those secrets would disappear for Savalaire if we traded them, or if he would be able to keep the secrets as the secrets of alchemy specifically.
The secrets of alchemy are a bit hard for you to just absorb, because he absorbed the secrets in a different fashion. It's not like he scoured through it and found Tao enlightenment with certain phrases throughout the series of books. No, the polygons and triangles showed him the way.
Understood.
his fractured eyes revealed something that was hidden, and presented it to him in a way that he could digest, even without needing actual literal enlightenment in the path of alchemy.
Okay.
So,
well, never mind.
he could point out exactly which 10 phrases, in which order, in those books that are supposed to bring you enlightenment and provide you this yourself, but him going, yes, this is the secret. It's like,
that's what we were planning to do. That's what I suggested. We go through the books together, and I help him figure out those secrets, since I already know them myself. Pointing them out inside each of the books, having a downtime scene for each book, or however many it would take, to find those himself without making a transaction out of it. That was the overall plan, though.
You could do that. You could just point them out and see if he understands.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then let's see. Suppler was also talking about him getting struck by lightning repeatedly and asking if he could borrow their Dow points, and I wasn't. Or well, I had mentioned that I have a way that life could probably heal him, but I'm not certain whether or not it would harden him to where the lightning wouldn't cause him damage later on.
I just want health. Is what I was trying to get. Was more wounds.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah.
That should be doable.
I was wondering if duality could take the life Dow points that you have, and then put them into my new health matters quality. I feel like she's esoteric enough that she'd be able to look at that and then kind of put it into that aspect of myself.
Duality says they could.
Mm-hmm.
Something feels weird about it, though.
Right.
They don't understand the path like normal people, cultivators, which means they can do weird things, but they also are missing a lot of knowledge. And getting that knowledge may not even help, because they're a moon. They see the world very differently.
Yeah.
So they're like, I could. Huh. Something feels off.
Okay. Well, let's not do that then. Unless you can break up the energy from the what Changpa would give, and then put it into a way that I could utilize. I suppose that's the only other thing I could suggest.
It feels off. I don't know why. I don't know if it's good, it's bad, it's weird. Just off.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, Chungpo, let's get started then.
Works with me.
So we open up the books and start going through them for 2 days.
Is there anything that you need me to roll, Miss GM Matt?
Have you roll Gestalt.
Gestalt. Okay.
And if you haven't been given a percent, it's not possible to pass it, because it's Gestalt rounded up. It's always gets all rounded down. So you need a full 1%, and then you roll dice until you get a 1, or equal to or less than your Gestalt rating. The phrases that he points out are mentions about circulation. They're very offhanded. They're very innocuous. They don't stand out on the page at all. It's a mention that certain paths or routes within the body circulate energy in a specific way. Or they push an energy, or they slide an energy. They use different verbiages on how the energy is moved, or how the energy travels through the body. It makes almost no reason to why that's special, because there's much more complicated and enlightening things in this book than these 10 individual sentences and passages. The alchemy book itself is much more educational. Why are these 10 phrases special? You can put them together, you make a diagram out of it, you put it up on a whiteboard. They don't stand out at all. And all the while, Larry is like, no, look, the things float off the page. They're obviously special. They told me they're secrets. They whispered it to me. And it's like, no, they ain't saying shit to me.
Right. Okay. I think, Savala, I think the only way that we are going to see, or I'm going to understand, is if you show it in a way that puts it into practice, that makes those secrets stand out. A way to make it unlock for me. Or at least I think.
Let's try this. Matt, can I apply a solar qigong through my my eyeball while looking at the book to give a like an illusion or projection what I'm seeing? Would that be doable?
Just cycling a qigong through the body.
So yeah, I'm cycling a qigong. Like that's like I was like I told you before, once upon a time, of putting a fire in the back of my eye socket in a sense, but in this case, I'm using solar qigong to provide light to go through my eye prism, or my shattered eye, to then show what I'm seeing in a sense. Would that work out?
If you reveal what you see, he may get the same condition.
Okay, let's not do that then.
Same condition. Oh, same condition as in like the eyes?
Yep. If he looks too deeply into your eyes, and you kind of project even more, or try and show him the way of polygons, you may give him the same condition. But if you do, he might be able to see what you see.
Fair enough. All right, that's fair.
If the whole party has the same condition, I mean, we just play in a different dimension at that point.
We're just playing in the polygon world, guys.
Yep.
Okay. Well, shit. Okay. Well, it looks like we're not
all new
going to be able
tokens for this game. All new maps.
Looks like I cannot help you at this moment, Chungpo.
It's quite all right. If I come across an alchemy thing that I just either can't solve, or we find a way that your secret can be applied, and you might be able to show me in the practice of alchemy. But
speaking of Chungpo,
yes.
Do you still want to go down the alchemy route, or are you trying some other way to do it?
I have some plans that eventually I think will come to fruition in later time.
Okay. Well,
Once we get to, or once we take the walk to checkpoint 2.
all right. Well, just remember that you'll need yourself a furnace to utilize the alchemy resources and a flame control technique, which is what I was trying to tell you or explain about this essence of brilliance. But it's just one of those things you'll need. And one thing to remember is that your element that I see is wood right now. And you can utilize wood with fire to improve it. They're synergistic that way. Just like the time you brought wood, you and good Benny the Beast brought wood to heat up myself when I was freezing to death. You can utilize that with the fire to make better fire, or use or control it better, or whatnot. There's things to think about because there is something there.
I believe you, and though I can't see it right now, I'm interested in finding every secret that I can.
Well, it's not really much of a secret. It's more of just a feng shui of life.
Well, by golly, for me, it's a secret.
Good to hear.
Yes. Let's see. Well, you said that the life thing wouldn't really work. Or, well, it would be weird.
That's fine. We don't need to do the life thing. I'll figure it out myself by continuing to almost kill myself every day.
If you need life at any point, I will I will step in to try and save you.
I appreciate that.
Let's see.
So,
what we can do.
how long did that take for us to figure out, Matt, that we can't do? Did it take those 2 days?
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You do learn that if I hate to say it, but if you were to increase your talent or your genius, and that's very different than just training and hard work, because frankly, it's its own skill. You can work hard, but without some cheat skill or something assisting you, like the heavens, or without genius, you don't really go anywhere. Maybe you can look back later on these. It's not going anywhere. This is a mass-produced book. But it's really, if you really want to go down the path of alchemy, this is great. This is a really big leg up. If alchemy is just, you're just trying to learn it, this is not very good. In fact, this could be pretty harmful. This particular secret, because what does it lead to? It leads to a place where you get a spirit bone. You already have a spirit bone, Poe. You can't get another one. It's not like you can get multiple ones. Maybe there's a secret method later on in the path, way down the line, but not now. It gives you an alchemy power. You got something involving brilliance, but that's all around genius and talent and cultivation. That's a really long-term bonus. You need something more short-term, more impactful. It does give you a bit of insight, but unless it's your primary focus, because you're going to be a poisoner, this will help. But I mean, this particular secret doesn't.
I think what Chun-Po really wanted to get out of that was secrets, like Dow points of secrets was the true goal there, I think.
You do have the secret of the 10 passages. That is its own secret. Like, you
to
can't
know where to look,
actualize on the information, but that's its own secret. The enlightenment. But also going, hey, if you look at these 10, you have a chance to become an alchemy genius.
It's true.
That's
if you had Gestalt,
that
you
is the secret of itself. Yeah. Knowing the exact 10 passages where it starts and where it begins, or where it starts and where it ends. Specifically, does it include the punctuation or not? So, yeah, that's its own secret.
Gotcha.
Alright. Just don't let the alchemy group let you know you're selling this, because the whole point is to have it hidden, and for geniuses to naturally reveal themselves. They may recall all those books if it gets out.
Change all the passages.
Yep. Secrets are secrets for a reason, and the more they are spoken about, the more they are traded and exchanged. They become common knowledge, and every time you exchange it, it loses value.
Wait, but if we recall all the books, then the ones that we have of this edition become more valuable.
After a really long period of time.
Yep.
Because they're already in circulation.
Because other people are like, wait, hold on, we want these books too.
Yeah.
So, does if it's a secret of itself, is Changpo getting Martial Dao points of secrets, or is he just like getting secret points or essences, or?
You can get secret points, but you are no longer a seeker of secrets. But you can get the equivalent of secret points with your master that you can use for currency. You've kind of started to settle in on your Dao instead of dabbling a little bit here and there. You are about life and poison right now. And eventually you'll settle on one. And that's what you'll have in the future. But for now, those are your two that you've kind of settled into.
Alrighty.
Because eventually you're only supposed to be cultivating one type of Dao. Or at least, when you do cultivate, only one type of martial Dao point presents itself to you.
Lyron, you have 2 days of training.
I would like to make mind intrinsic.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to be able to apply my sound portfolio as a bonus to rolls when training sound-based, I guess, abilities or other trainings that are sound-based.
You have it written out for me? You know I'm gonna need it.
Do. Caplock Y.
Dude, tell me about it. That's so painful.
That's what I like about Word, is that like, hey, you caps locks by accident, so you can just like literally highlight it and then click a button, and then it will change it to lowercase or whatever you want.
Yeah, that would be nice. But here in America, we also have Word, but we just freeball it because we think we're special.
I see.
Yep. Freeballing.
There.
What am I looking at? With my ball. No, I don't want calculator. I want game. Okay. Sound intrinsic. Apply sound portfolios bonus to rolls when training sound-based ability or techniques. Oh. What intrinsic is this from? Which pillar?
Mind. Sorry, I didn't mean sound intrinsic. I meant mind.
I was wondering. I was like, I'm not.
It's a sound intrinsic. It's the fifth pillar. Yeah.
sounds
Duh.
like this.
What happens when I meet my first sound threshold?
You explode.
Like,
You become
It's a sound.
waves. You can no longer be
You
physical
find the
bodies.
brown note.
Oh,
I already found the brown note.
You did. It's true. I
You
also
find
have
the blue note.
What does that even
I
do?
feel so blue.
it's a really interesting place in Columbia, Missouri. That's a bar where they have live music. Anyways,
Mind
No, you turn completely blue, you lose all your hair, and you start playing weird, not
die.
instruments.
that's the Blue Man Group.
The blue note.
I'm also going to spend some merit since KC decided to as well. What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, that works. That's
Nice.
a clever way to linking stuff. Nicely done, Mr. Lar. That's a perfectly logical approach using Spirit Select to get your spirit on.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. It's got that health. Still gonna punch you guys with stuff, and then you're gonna be like, ow! Ow! Why?
What about my sound intrinsic?
Yeah, that's fine. It's because it's very just sound, and you've worked really hard on your sound portfolio in the first place, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I can now train my
Now
next
it's
matter.
your normal sound portfolio.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your esoteric sounds are like, we're special snowflakes. We don't play like those freaking plebeian / peasant sounds.
Well, it's enough of a bonus that I can continue training the next rank of mathematics. It's the only thing that I care about here. I would like, so I'll do that for 2 days. And the level 2 of movement mechanics at the same time.
Because 2-day passed are 2d9, 15 damage.
So does the 4th frequency for mathematics and movement mechanics. Because I already did the initial one. I don't know what the next movement mechanics is, but
we gotta find out where you left off. That's what we gotta find out.
just finished off difficulty 3. 1-3 rather.
1-3. You know, I think it's just a Control F feature will find it faster for me instead of rolling like an idiot.
I mean, for what?
Oh, no, mathematics.
Like in chat log? Yeah, you can do that.
Does it not like me? I don't understand.
Yeah, I can literally like type in math, and then I get mathematics.
Yeah, well, it's...
I'm doing this next rank. Then...
I kept typing in MYTH myth, and it was like, nope, there's no MYTH in this game. I'm like, but it's right there. So I found a copy of it and I put it in. It's like, oh yeah, it exists. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That was the wrong M that you were using.
I only have one M on the keyboard. Pfft, fucking.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's your problem, not mine. It's like, okay, fine. All right. You got past. What the fuck? Okay. You did. Oh, is it not all on one page? That's why I can't find shit. I gotta put it all on one page, motherfucker.
That would do it.
God damn it. Oh, it makes so much sense now. Fuck you, game. Oh, there they are. Now it's like, oh yes, of course. There it is. You've done it.
Good job, Matt. Proud of you.
Alright, we did the dread frequency, and you're wanting to learn the 4th one. A. Yes? A, you want to learn the 4th one?
Yes, I want to learn the 4th one of mathematics, and I want to also be learning movement mechanics further with this. And if it's following the same,
Yep, same thing as we did before. All right.
so minus 250, minus 25 currently. Which is mitigated, thankfully. So I will now roll my 2 days, you said? So
Did I give you the name for the fourth one?
for the chant, you didn't give me the name for the chants
Did I give
until
you
I
a
learned
progress
them.
bar?
You did not.
Okay. Boo.
It was 5,000 for the third frequency.
When we're gonna do the 10K. Good luck. For
Okay.
fourth. It's
And then
gonna
for
be
movement,
3 critical damage per roll.
3 critical. We were
Yep.
at 2 beforehand, or we were at 1 beforehand.
Yeah, 1 on the previous series.
And then it's 3 now.
Yep.
Do I have enough?
Killing 4 per roll.
I do. I guess I'll do another might select to increase my indomitable by 1, which is 10 more merit.
And we gotta do movement mechanics. Woo woo. Alright. Movement. Meh. Movement meh. Level 3 difficulty 1. That was where you left off.
Level 2 difficulty 1. Because I did 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3. Which you said next was using them together, which would be difficulty 2, right? Because you split up difficulty 1.
It'd be difficulty 2. You were going to try and use your arms together at the same time. Difficulty 2 does increase the difficulty overall of bolstering it with the chant at the same time.
Yep, that's what I figured, given the fact that that's why I decided to get the sound portfolio thing, at least for the mathematics.
Yeah.
Help mitigate that being an issue.
Mm-hmm. You can add another minus 100 to the difficulty if you're doing it at the same time. Otherwise, it's a minus. I think it's just a minus 100 on itself.
So is it currently a minus 350, minus 25 if I do both?
Minus 350, minus 50 if you're trying to do both at the same time.
Okay, so minus 350, minus 50. So minus 15 after that bonus there. My bonus from the sound portfolio is fine to fix that for the bonus. But can I actually learn anything with a successful roll? Let me add up my things again. So 4 quadrupled is 6, so I'm at least getting 2 progress there. I think I have one other thing that gives progress, though. That's just for progress for willpower. Not training a pinnacle skill. I guess it's just 2 times 10 when I succeed, so I get 20 progress per successful roll. Cool. It's 3 fatigue per roll?
Yep.
Can I do 2 days? I think I can do 2 days with that then. I'm just determining the amount of rolls I can do here. Give me a sec.
Yeah. Did I give you the number for how many you have to get for the Second movement can't be canceled.
No.
It's 250 for
250 for the first.
Yep.
Okay, so let's put those in. Mathematics chat. Three? No, 4. 0 out of 10. Okay. -1. 0 out of 250. Okay, and the -350 is still fine, so I can't quite double that penalty with my montage master and be able to pass literally any roll. My 700 is still too much. So that is 14 for 1. I'm doing 5 and then resting. So 70 D100. And I guess I'll count pairs while people do other stuff.
Hey, good job on the 1.
Oh, cool. Got a 1. Which increases my least favorite sound by 1, but that doesn't do anything at the moment. Just good to keep track. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $24 successes, which is 480 progress. Yes. And then I need to rest because I now have lots of fatigue. Yippee. Cool. That is my 2 days catching up to you guys. I have completed the first level of the movement mechanics, 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
I cast manual breathing at 9th level at you right now.
I can move both of my arms. Kind of.
Power word, hold your breath.
Powered hold your breath.
Yep, don't forget the
Trying, but it keeps
yippee.
slipping through my fingers. Yippee! 250.
Ow, 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 ow. My elbow.
80. And then there's 230 progress to the second movement mechanics. And does it just double, or does it add 250 per level?
Nope, just 100 per level.
Okay, so we're at 350. Okay, 230 of 350.
There's 10 levels.
Okay, I'm now on 2-2.
Actually, sorry. No, I just double checked. It is 250 per level, yeah.
I am still on 2-2.
Okay. Your least favorite sound is at what progress total? It's above 50, right? But you can't use anything past 50 right now.
Yeah, let me pull it up because I just got one from the one. That's mathematics. That's least favorite sound is currently at 58.
Seems legit.
Too legit to quit.
Yeah, it continues.
Qi or Qi Gong. Okay, so same as the difficulty 3. Cool.
This will probably be the same thing you get for all of the movement mechanics because it stacks so neatly on itself.
Yep.
And then once you put
power.
everything together, it's nice. So this is you trying to learn to use your arms. Difficulty 3 is trying to learn to walk.
My God.
Difficulty 4 is trying to use the things in your torso properly, like breathing, moving your head.
Okay. Turns his head around 180 on accident. Whoops.
Difficulty 5 starts to put everything together.
Okay. Difficulty 5, I'm assuming, is very much not very possible with current body, but
It might not be, but who knows? Maybe you come up with a way of you're like, yes, I just follow electrical signals because it's also my circulation, and I just puppet my body using electricity or energy. Go! Do the thing!
I mean, I feel like that still doesn't get around the fact that you're just destroying your body as you're doing it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's the durability problem that's...
It's like, I don't think the learning it is the impossible part. As I am at like 100-something fatigue at the end of the day and a half. Have to go to sleep.
Well, you have your master's mostly undivided attention, which is rare, so...
Yep.
Yay!
Ouch. So we're caught up again.
You all come back together like, oh, man, my eyes hurt from all that reading. All that scheming and strategizing and plotting. And you're like, I hurt everywhere.
Guys, I've learned how to move my arms a little bit.
Nice.
Didn't you already know how to do that?
What do you mean? I've
We
learned, but I don't.
subconsciously know how to move our bodies, Chungbo. Sounds like he's been thinking about it really hard.
Sure, something like that.
So what's the champion tournament? What do we get if we win?
Well, first,
I'm
Chungbo,
probably
you
gonna
need
have
yourself a ticket.
Oh. Yeah, that's important. Wait, didn't we... The prelims. I'm not sure if I qualified, actually, but...
Well, initially we had taken a ticket to checkpoint 2, but my master says we have to walk, so those are useless.
Ah.
I guess if we want to go back or something at some point.
Yeah, you guys chose materials, and I was like, I'll take a ticket for the martial arts tournament.
Ah. Gotcha. Well.
We can watch.
We could watch.
And bet that I will lose.
Oh, don't
Should be
put
fine.
yourself down. I'm sure you can do better than that.
I'll just make them all fail. It'll be fine.
Or you could win, and that would be a failure of your reputation because you're not with any major groups.
Oh,
The
gonna make my waifu proud.
Well. Lyron, would you want to fight in the tournament?
I mean, if I got a ticket, I'd give it a go.
What does it actually take to get a ticket besides the way that we, didn't get?
I think it was the prelims.
Is there any other way?
I don't know.
Good question, Chunpo.
We could go ask the principal or whatever, the headmaster.
Or the pavilion that is hosting the tournament. I'm sure you could buy tickets from them.
Let's see. If I were to actually be in the tournament and trying to utilize what I've most recently learned with it, that'd be quite the challenge. But let's see. As far as I know, that's our next thing. That's why I'm putting effort into it. But excuse me, headmaster.
Mm-hmm. Mr. As he flips this a clipboard, Mr. Chun Po. Yes.
Yes. If somebody didn't have a ticket for the upcoming tournament, and decided that they wanted to fight in it, but the prelims they didn't do that well in, or well, they chose materials, but now they're wanting to get a ticket. How much would it cost? Where could I buy one? If that's not an option, what else could I do to get one?
Lot of questions. Let's start with normally you can't. The whole point of the prelims to see if you qualified, but you relinquished your seat. And that is recorded.
Yes.
And as recorded, it prevents you from participating.
Ah.
Now, that's not the end of it. Paperwork is paperwork, after all. Sometimes it needs to be edited, corrected, modified, or just thrown out. That can be done. The paperwork specifically hasn't left, per se. And even if it did, it would just require a little bit of extra effort. It's because you're not from a prestigious family, or you have connections, or you know the people who are hosting, doesn't mean you're disqualified. I think it's rather silly that they make you choose. You should just get both. But I suppose if you do take the resources, they don't want you participating, and if you are going to participate, they don't want you to give you the resources.
Understood.
But why do you want to participate?
Well, my friend is going to be participating, and it's good training.
Nope. That's a terrible fucking reason. Pardon my language, but seriously. Those are terrible reasons. My friend is participating, and it's good training.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Well, aren't we all going to die?
No. That's why there are people who are cultivators of immortality. Cosmic cultivators who no longer really have a lifespan. They're also the inorganic cultivators who definitely don't have a organic lifespan. Not everyone is just going to up and die. Sometimes you have to be destroyed. So no. But for clarification, since details are important, you're probably going to get killed in the tournament. With that mindset, that attitude.
Very well.
Your hand, please.
I reach my hand out.
And firmly grasps your wrist, checks your pulse. You know, he does a kind of it's a bit probing. He'll definitely learn some important things about you, but after a bit, You won't die to the people in the ring, that's for certain. Whatever your constitution is, you are beyond durability. This is rather impressive, actually. It's outside the arena. You see, they remove problems. Because who are you connected to? Do you have a support group? Do you have familiar connections? Do you have influence? Do you have power?
I have my friends.
You have your friends. Are they going to shield you?
Oh, no. We are very keen on making sure that we can survive our own things.
Don't worry, he's got this, fam.
Bet you don't. The tournament's not fair. 12 Sword Tower hosts it. The other 3 major families, or sects, or groups, or whatever, they also are major contributors to the event. If there is a contender not of those factions, they don't want you winning at all, or even come close. Not even top 10. Because it does a number of things. A, they get to recoup their costs. They get to have their little intergroup competition to see which disciples are better. There is a superiority thing that they do. Such as, the reason we're on top is because we like to stay that way, and letting outsiders make any progress or contribution, or show that they're a strong contender, or even, hell, beat someone from our establishments is unthinkable. This event's for them in the first place. We let you in just so that our people can beat up on you. It's not fair. This is a training ground for them, and a competition place for them. Are you them? You are not. You understand?
I grasp it. I don't like it.
No one does.
Well,
The reason I ask, if you have background, the only way you're going to be able to compete freely and fairly is if you have a master that's more powerful than an entire group, or are connected to another organization or group on the path farther up the path. Zone 2, Zone 3, whatever. Because the tournament is hosted by the most powerful groups in Zone 1. But the path is long, as it is dangerous. Anything above Zone 1 means they're a more powerful group, which means the Zone 1 people have to play fair. Because, well, if you piss off a higher zone group, it's they can do terrible things to your people. Basically, the strong teach the weak the error of their ways. Do you have a higher level group backing you? Or a master that can take on all of these people once?
well, technically they could be labyrinthian, but they have completed that, and they have told me that. Past that, I'm not entirely sure. But at the same time,
Are they recognized in the labyrinth as a lethal, killer? Like, even by their standards, this person is a problem.
I do not know.
Doorkeeper's not.
Okay.
They go around and go, ooh, these guys are doing some fun stuff. I'm gonna write it down. No, don't mind me. I'm just watching. Mm-hmm. Oh, that looks like a hard fight. Yay, go you guys, pom poms. Mm-hmm. Oh, that guy got murdered. That's unfortunate. Good thing I got this written down.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, Lord Keeper is not a fighter.
He's a writer, not a fighter.
Yep.
I believe Lord Keeper's she, but yes. Or at least, I believe. You said
There
Lord
she,
Keeper
yep.
was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there she. Alright, it's a habit. I'd say they a lot now because I have.
All good.
It's a safer.
All good. Well, Headmaster, what would it take for the underdog to just really kick these people in the teeth?
What I've already mentioned. You need a backing.
Understood.
You need a powerful backing, far beyond that of Zone 1. Because if you're a problem in the ring, which there are many talented students, they don't want you in the ring. In fact, you may win a controversial fight against an opponent that they didn't want you beating, and it ended up becoming a problem. So they're going to handle it outside the ring with whatever means necessary. Maybe they buy you off. Maybe you don't show up for the next match. Maybe a bunch of experts beat the shit out of you, and you have internal injuries and you can't compete.
What of the friend of mine that does have a ticket? Will they see him the same light?
Yeah, everyone.
Mm.
It doesn't matter if you have a ticket or I sneak you in. It's all the same.
Understood. Well,
it's not pretty. This is not a fair tournament. Oddly enough, it is on the path for the Gladia circuit. And the reason why this particular tournament's difficult is because of that unfairness. You have to beat all odds inside and outside the arena. The competitors are not particularly they're not very good at what they do, especially if you learn from a higher zone. It's all the bullshit that happens outside the arena. Even the referees are rigged. That's actually what I find the hardest part, because the referees are bought and paid thoroughly. In fact, people who run the establishment signal the referee of what they want them to do while the match is ongoing, such as stop the fight. That person's using probably a hidden weapon or a technique to disqualify him. And the referee can paint it or make it look like you are the person at fault. Now, I have seen an actual Gladia come through, and when they are putting another notch on their belt, they tried to use that and they killed the referee and told them to shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're looking at. And if any of you want to come down here and fight me yourself, do so. And challenge literally everybody. And if you could fight everybody, screw the rules. You could be a Bureaumancer. They do have, on the surface, very fair rules. And if you enforce them through Bureaumancy, you just have to survive outside the arena. Because then even the referees have to abide by their own fucking rules. Pardon my language. But you probably won't have enough time to learn Bureaumancy to that level. And it's kind of its own path itself. So you would need to pick it. It's not something you dabble in. It's
Oh, yes, I not enjoying the idea of becoming a bureaumancer.
Yeah.
No offense, but
Yeah. Also, they don't let poison practitioners participate.
fair enough.
They hate you. They hate you and everything about you. Because the poison practitioners come from Zone 2. And their masters come from Zone 4. So, if you get a backing with the poison clans, well, if they're willing to really lean in, they could be like, yes, he can participate. What are you going to do about it? We'll poison you. You and 7 generations of your family will be cursed.
With poison.
But it'll be in your bones. There's a reason.
It's already in my blood, Amber.
Yeah, they're not going to let you participate. They're going to have one look at your physique and go, mm-mm. Yeah, people don't like poisoners. All that work, especially the 12 Sword Tower, because they're so righteous and so orthodox. Poison is the way of evil. All it does, they just don't want you to stop them using their fancy sword techniques. And how dare you poison me? That's not fair. That's cheating. Everything's fair on the path. If you can't endure poison, you're not going to make it very far. There's so many people that use it. Even an amateur poisoner can kill a master. But a master should also have poison resistance. So, or at least the ability to detect it. And if someone uses a cultivator slaying poison, something that's odorless, tasteless, well, you're just fated to die. That was your fate. Sorry. Why did you pull the attention of someone who has that in their possession? Whoops. But I've talked long.
I think I know what I will do. Thank you, Headmaster.
Of course.
And Tempo will move back.
Do not despair. There are many tournaments. Much more fair. Once you get to Zone 2, the Kazu Kalkan actually hosts fair tournaments, but it's always to the death. So, participate knowing that of the 128 people, well, 27 people in that tournament, there will be one victor, because there is one survivor. And they care not what methods you use. So,
good to know.
And there are many other tournaments that are not in the limelight, quiet ones. More amateur ones. And they do host more fair rules.
Tempo will walk up to Savalaire. Were you wanting to win this tournament?
Win or lose, Chanpo. The efforts I put in to it is all that matters.
You do everything that you can, and I will do everything that I can to help off the ring.
Sure. I mean, I'm just planning to test my ability, Chanpo. That is the idea. Speaking of improving our abilities, how about the three of us get together and do a montage?
Ooh, I love montages.
I think that's a good idea.
I have reached the 5th stage, but I'm missing a catalyst from myself before I can finalize the 5th stage. So,
oh gosh,
I'm going to work on my flowing sword manual here that I got from the individual.
I can continue to read on one of my books of my path,
but I also have to start implementing some things.
Wait, you can read?
I can keep reading the books, I guess, but yeah, I need to actually start implementing things. And then I also, have a question for Lorekeeper.
Mhm.
Lorekeeper, have you ever witnessed one of the arena battles that Sabalair is going to be participating in?
No.
Hmm.
I've seen much more brutal tournaments held elsewhere. I've gotten records and accounts of it. I've watched video, but I'm not witnessed it in person. So
I, after hearing from the headmaster of what happened off the field, I would like to at least be something in the shadows for Sabalair, that he doesn't have to worry about what happens in the shadows of the arena. Just because I just don't like them.
Okay. If that's what you want, I don't see why not.
Good. And then also training for poisons.
Oh, sure. What do you plan? Like, are you just going to beat them up? Do you plan to poison them?
Well, I think anything in the ring I can't really. Well, actually, I was thinking of creating a paralysis poison for the referee, and make it to where they just stand there not doing anything in a daze, but that could also be detected.
Poison could get him disqualified because he also has the backing of Cooney's clan, who are no pushovers. So if they give him a unfair chance, then they'll have to deal with Cooney's people. But if you provide them with the excuse, because poison was present, somebody could declare, foul play, and that would give them an actual legitimate reason to disqualify him.
Yes, and I do want to try and keep myself off of the ring as much as possible. I want it to be his merit that wins. I am not trying to win for him, but the things that were mentioned that happened outside the ring that could happen to him are things that I just want
He's
to try
got
and
that.
prevent.
He's going to handle that.
Okay.
We should look at the undercurrents behind the tournament, because you have tournament venue, you have the people, participants, the fans, the observers, the hosts, the conspirators, but you have this whole network of things that go on underneath it. These events are like living organisms. You have what you see on the surface, and you have all that stuff that happens underneath, all the goods and services that must come and go, because it's a huge event. It lasts for a week, an entire week. I mean, just think about how much food and beverages that people are going to want. It's a major sporting event for 7 days straight. There's actually only a brief period of time in which they use to service the arena. Otherwise, they'd run it 24 hours constantly because there's so many participants. So why don't we tap into what's going on underneath the surface? Make connections, meet people, get goods and services that normally you just can't get. Maybe we get access to some private facilities. Maybe we are the ones who influence who gets fucked up behind the scenes. If Lara's going to run into a difficult opponent and we don't like it, maybe we're the ones who send people after that one dude that Lara's going to fight, and that guy shows up with a crippled cultivation and Lara just murders him by accident. I don't know.
I am
A-okay with that, but then I question whether or not they would charge Lar for misconduct and disqualify him for murder. But I don't know how
No. In the arena, accidents happen. You know, if you walk into the arena and you're injured, that's your problem.
Understood.
Most places should, especially at an Orthodox tournament, go, you were too injured to participate. But a lot of people do it anyways. And, well, if you're already injured, and this individual swings their sword at you normally, just testing your defenses, and you just crumple, well, accidents happen. Now, if he's killing people outside the arena, it's self-defense, unless he's actually going out of his way to kill them, like premeditated and all that, assassination. Don't worry. There's a lot more to this. I'll walk you through it.
I appreciate it, Master.
Well, this is what I do.
Oh.
Well, I do stories. I do people. I do interactions. I do knowledge, secrets, this type of stuff. And most of the secrets are stuff that's not seen. Even if it's in plain sight, it's still within the pitch dark.
Chunpo gives a bow, and I appreciate all the assistance.
Yeah. I'm not a great combatant, and I'm sorry, Mr. My disciple, Chunpo. I'm something else.
I think that you are amazing as you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do try.
For what's upcoming, do you have any recommendation of what I should do?
Money. You need a fuck ton of money.
That's.
But not in the anticipation of spending it. Having money. People can smell it. Also, we need to get you some clothes that make you look like a problem. Maybe visit the night market and make sure you get your some gear that looks like you're serious. Not like, because unfortunately, you look a bit like a hobo most of the time. Because you don't do you have extra sets of clothes?
No.
Yeah. So we should get you some nice clothes. Maybe some armor. Maybe some gear and whatnot. I don't know.
I think that this will be an entertaining next couple of months.
We'll see. You also need to have the mindset that you're gonna need to do some stuff. Maybe outside your comfort range. Because you cultivate poison and life. The life part may be a little bit of a problem because, life is for living, and taking life is antithesis to the life Tao. But you also are a poisoner, so it's like, I don't know how that interaction's gonna go. You know?
Well, depending on how I feel like I could word it in a way that I could see both still working, but I do understand your caution. Why understand what you are trying to say.
Well, we really should get you down to one Tao. Even if it's mixing them together, when you cultivate, one thing should come out. You know? But we need to do that by around gold for you. Definitely before Black Gold. Goodness.
I want to be something positive in
Sure.
the grand scheme, but I don't mind being something that takes.
Well, what is life for you? Like, what are you trying to get out of life? Specifically, if you were to cultivate the life Tao, what do you want from that?
To be able to spread life, a level of tranquility and peace, and to bring nature and things into existence. And I think that's taken form in myself as the tree. I didn't mean for that to happen, but I, the world that I grew up in has just been overtaken by technology, and there's no green left. I would like to see a world of just green and nature and a chaotic balance of everything, of carnivores taking things that they need to survive, herbivores taking what they need, and plants and mushrooms and insects, all of it.
Natural cycle. So that's not really like life. That's nature. Naturalism. But if you're really wanting to go down that path, we need to divide your physique, or divide your goal. Your cultivation can actually be different than your physique, because you could be the heaven enshrouding poison willow. Now that could be your. It doesn't have to have poison in it, because you don't want to have a non-aligning physique. You want it to match, but you can lean into your poisonous plant physique, because the little tree buddy that you have, he's also going to be taking on massive poison-esque physique because of your change. So him just touching things could just instantly kill things instead of just absorbing them because of the poison. It's you'll have to look into that. But one of the most powerful things I've seen for nature, or just what people have done to each other.
Listening intently.
When people go to war, their weapons get more and more devastating, right? The sheer ruin that is brought. But it doesn't leave anything behind for these greedy people. There's nothing. It's all destroyed. In fact, the land is so devastated and ruined, you can't even, if there is something there, you can't go get it. It's bad. So people thought, how do we get rid of people with leaving everything else intact? Virus. Yeah, virus, poison, infection, toxins. Plagues, yeah. Well, you know what poison sounds like? Well, you can remove all cultivator life, all people life, and then invigorate plant life. And then have it take back the land. I think you have what you need. You don't have to destroy destroy the land and the people. You could just destroy the people and let the land have it back, because there's no one there to stop them. Now, advanced civilizations, there are caveats, such as certain machinery left unattended for long periods of time have them corrode, and then if the containment fails, boom. But I mean, up to you. Look, honestly, you're going down just the right path for what you need. You just need to look at it through a different lens. If If you want nature to take back what's theirs, well, look at the problem. Who is making it so that nature is not winning? Well, usually it's a sentient race that's able to make tools, form society, harvest the land. Just get rid of those guys. Nature springs back really quick. Unfortunately, your planet's a little screwed. I'm sorry. You'll have to give up on that one, or wipe the board clean, start over. Yeah.
Yes, I have unfortunately come to a similar conclusion.
Well, here's the thing, though. So that planet was harvested almost completely, right? Where did those things go? Because usually, when a planet is cored out like that, and all of its natural resources are removed, including its water, very important. Where does that go? Follow where the resources go. Because that ended up becoming more of a finance hub, more of where people stay. They don't really make things anymore. They move things around, people included. Find where the resources go, and take those planets. And then follow where those resources go, and take those planets. Take it all. Take the whole network of all the people who benefited from the harvesting of your planet. Punish them.
Scale just got much larger then.
So, no. Infection vectors are really easy to move around from goods to goods, you know? Have something a little slow, but really tenacious. Start it on your planet. They disseminate that good to every point on the path, and it kills them all at once.
Very well.
Just engineer a bioplague or a plant fungi. Do you like mushrooms? Fungi.
Do you like mushrooms?
Well, what if there's fungi problem and spores everywhere, and it kills all the population and most of the planet too? But hey, now it's a fungal planet. Woo! I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm just trying to cheer you up. In addition to like opening your mind, you've got something special. I mean, with the stuff in your vault, if you crack even one of those high-grade poisons, and you just introduce it into the right place, hell, even into the atmosphere, those terraforming engines aren't going to be able to handle that. It's going to chew through those, and it's going to poison the whole toxic air supply in the first place.
I intend to crack open those eventually whenever I handle it. And yes, but I also think that my friends are ready for severe trainings for long periods of time. I thank you, Master. And I look forward to learning the ins and outs of the social structure of things and finding ways that I can move my creations.
Yep. And don't worry, unlike the others, I actually do live forever. As long as there are stories, as long as there are history, as long as time is moving and people are doing things and things are done, I endure. So.
Does it have to be people?
Sentient life.
Alrighty, that works.
And it doesn't have to be here. It can be anywhere in the grand quilt.
Yeah. Anywho, Crack's neck. Let's get to training. Sorry to take up so much. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. He's fine. Lar, you wanted to practice your sword work, yes?
Oh, yes, I have this new technique that I got from an individual called Student Master, or Master Student of the 111 Sword Breaking Slashes. Yes, this was He's very interesting. He came down here to, do his cultivation. I just finished my my 5th stage, and I can't go any further, and I can't go to the next one unless I have a catalyst. So I was thinking, why not work on this instead?
Sure.
So let's practice our sword play.
Let me go get some practice swords.
Get a lot. I feel like I'm going to be breaking a few of these.
I'm assuming if I walk over there to get some swords, I'm okay because I'm not Lar, who Battlemaster Frey is like, what are you doing with all these swords at this point?
No, that is like, I don't give a shit. Take your swords.
I'm gonna take a few swords.
They stare at you with that burning eye.
Oh, hi. We're just gonna go train a bit. Nothing to see here. Oh, I should probably go tell Lar.
2 low-grade heaven and earth crystals per sword. 1 medium for a really high-grade practice wooden sword.
How many swords has Lar broken?
Just a couple. 3 or 4.
At the end of the day, they're really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you want something that's much more durable, you can try and buy from Battlemaster Freya's, practice sword collection. And the wood just gets more and more ridiculous to the point where it's like a metal rod, and you're hitting each other. It's like, we can really hurt ourselves with these. At least it doesn't have an edge. It still feels like you're hitting me with a club. Like, yeah.
Man, this hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Swords acquired. I have a number of them. We'll just count the number that break.
I'm going to subtract 6 low-grade heaven and earth crystals because I got some practice swords that I broke. Because I'm cool like that. Okay.
To the training zone.
I paid my dues.
All right. Flowing sword. You do need to learn the movements before you.
That's fine. I can work on that.
You could also just swing swords with Lyron, because you also have the sword path.
Yes, I'm
see what it's like before and then after.
I'm 5 out of 5 on sword path. I need to finish the catalyst before I can complete it, though.
That's for certain.
Well, maybe you'll get it from the sword practicing.
Yes, let's roll.
We'll be practicing parries.
Fight me, bruh.
Against Lar.
So this is going to be 16. Slash our 3D 100.
I think my parry might be. Oh, I've got over 100 weapon skills, so. Except, wait, don't you apply some variety of negative to my ability to parry, or is that only if I'm lower?
If you want to see my bullshit, I will show you my bullshit. I have that written down.
Yes. Just to see what I have to
summary. So actually, not the greatest to be fighting me, honestly.
It's fine. Let's see.
So I do 1 devastating to my attacks for 1.
Okay, I've got Indomitable 3.
Excellent. I gave 1 felling. and a -10 to defend.
Okay.
And then I stack that on for another -10 and another additional felling.
20. Okay.
And then I reduce penalties to parry with the sword by my weapon skill bonus divided by 2. And I gain stalwart, impervious, impenetrable, and those things.
Okay, and then there's another -10, so we're at -30.
Additional felling, so 3 felling.
Does
I
not
deal
have the
DOS on your attack as pure damage. Those do not possess an adequate defense, such as a shield, weapon, energy, spell, or some energy or Tao related to the source. I may gain 1d5 fatigue to reduce penalties to block parry by my attacks to 1 × 10. That's fun. An
I have to
additional
put a shield
-10
on my weapon because you just break it. I don't. Okay.
We could just swing our swords, Lyra, and not at each other.
Well, I need
So,
to
yeah.
learn how to parry better. -10, like the -10s are fine. Well, I can deal with the breaking of the weapon. I can defend with my sound barrier, which is Tao based, by putting it on the sword itself.
Well, I can choose to target the sword itself and not Lyron, right, Matt?
Well, targeting me is fine too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just more worried about these low-grade heaven and earth crystals will be just blowing through if I'm trying to parry with a weapon that breaks guaranteed.
Look, you can buy a mountain of these pathetic swords for very cheap.
Yep.
And if you want better ones, you can, but at the same time, those are still gonna fucking break. So it depends on how much you want to spend.
Well, I can use my sound shield to keep it from breaking. For a sword. So we're good.
Okay.
I'm just seeing what else.
The one thing to make note of is the fumble chance. So every time I hit you, there's a stacking fumble chance.
Where is the stacking fumble chance?
This is my my trait, my weapon trait.
Oh, wait. So if you're using a training weapon, though, it still does that.
Any sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any sword. Okay.
Even training ones. So basically, what he does is he works in additional bad sound into your swing, and you can hear it starting to build.
Okay. Well, that might actually help me with what I'm trying to do. So
Nice.
Because you're like 50% of the time it's great, and now it's 49% of the time, and you're like, oh, what's happening? The bad sound. I think it's.
Well, if I'm parrying, it isn't the 50% as well, right?
Yeah. I mean.
Or does using a sword apply the bad sound?
Oh no, I'm talking about the.
If I'm attacking with it.
Tagging or blocking. If his sword connects with yours for any reason, it builds fumble.
Okay.
Even if he hits you, it builds fumble.
Okay.
So,
how long does this last? For the encounter?
And yeah, for the encounter, or until it's expended.
Yeah, or you fail. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it builds fumble until you
fail.
Fumble, and then it starts over.
Yeah.
So if I succeed on a parry at 100, that goes down to 99, regardless of bonuses.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because all I'm looking for is ones during this training anyway.
Nice.
Because I've got an idea. So let's, I'll practice some parrying, which is currently -30. Right? No, there's another -10 there. It's -50 total? Or did Path of the Sword 5 not give? Oh, you only have Path of the Sword 4, right?
Yes. Well, I'm on 5, and I have it.
But you can't do it without the catalyst.
I can't finish it without the catalyst, correct.
Okay. Then I will roll. So -40. I've got. Oh, right. I've got an insane bonus to my dodge and parry. Never mind. We're good. Your negatives there don't matter. I'm going to put a sound barrier around my sword so it doesn't break with a single parry.
Stuff.
And I will roll. I'm going to get 3 fatigue so I can do more actions. Here are my parries. No ones, but it does train my parry. None of them go high enough that the 7% reduced fumble chance is going to make it worse. So
I'm rolling on a 50-50 slash. First thing I'm going to do
oh,
is
yours
roll.
is a 50-50?
Yeah, 50-50. I've been making that quite consistent. Even the ones I got from the last one, I re-rolled the ones so I wouldn't get more characteristics from my 50-50. But I'm going to eat a sandwich.
So then my 14 rolls might not be 14 rolls if I'm parrying. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
Unless it still is. I guess it'd still be, we're still fighting that much time. You just get benefit from 7 of them. So never mind. Continue.
Okay. I'm going to eat a sandwich because I'm working on my my stuff here. That's going to be 6 products. And we're going to do /R 70-100 less than 50. Okay, perfect. I got 2 successes there. That's great. I'm going to do Destined for Failure on the first 20 /R 1D100. Okay, that didn't work. I'm going to use one on the 33 this time. Okay, and then I'm going to re-roll the 60 with another fate point. Yes. I break my sword. The last one we do of the day. It's just like, or the downtime scene. And I'm just like, well, did you hear that, Lyron?
It was wonderful.
Oh, one more to go. I got this.
Okay, let's keep going.
So that was 3 fates. Nope. 7.
Let me pull up
of 3. That makes sense. Subtracting 3 usages.
such as a shield, weapon, energy, spell, or some other energy. Okay, yeah. So I can use my sound shield to protect my sword. I was just double checking the wording of that thing.
Okay, all right.
Next DTS.
Also got 1 progress there.
14D100. Which is now less than 97. If we're continuing the training straight off, my fumble chance will increase, right?
Well, technically, I only passed one of them, so it should only be 1%.
One of them. Oh, it's only 1%. Okay. All right. Oh, there's the 1. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use
narrative.
Yep. I'm gonna get a peak narrative here.
Oh, nice.
On the 1 for Parry, and I guess I'll also get my check mark. Oh wait, I've got that brings me up to full parry from I think the first one. So that's only Okay. So I'm gonna use a peak narrative, Matt. With this one from the parry. I would like to hear the perfect sound of a parry and internalize that sound with that one.
No, with a 1?
With a peak narrative as well.
Maybe progress towards.
Well, it wouldn't be giving me progress. It would be giving me the ability to progress with
So the
normal
stat.
parry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for a parry. There's too many ways to parry.
Okay.
But you can have what is the ideal sound when clashing weapons with another.
Okay.
Because there are times where a person will hit you, and your weapon just screams in pain because it's you clash blades and that blade is gonna break. But if you can connect with their blade properly, you can absorb energy, you can neutralize it out, you can do a lot with the ideal sound of blades clashing.
Okay.
But again, even with him, he has something going on that even if you get that, it keeps degrading and degrading and degrading. Something building, some flaw that is compounding on itself. And eventually you can't find that sound anymore. Even if you know what to look for. Like, it's whatever Lara's doing takes that sound away.
So mostly what I'm trying to do is to try to start training another pinnacle skill. Is there something I can get out of this?
You have the sound, which is one of the hardest parts to get. Normal swing is its own set. Are you trying to build a second pinnacle skill?
Yes. I'm going to try to build the second pillar.
Second pillar or pinnacle? They're completely different because the pinnacle skill, the
so you can use a
overarching one.
pinnacle skill as a pillar, right?
Yes, you can. Are you building a pinnacle as a pillar, or are you starting a completely new branch?
So the idea here is to make another pillar so I can build something off of both that and normal swing. It isn't for normal swing itself.
Okay.
So it'd be a new pillar.
Okay, you're just building a new pillar. Yeah, you can probably build something off of that.
Because it's I guess it won't be a pinnacle skill itself, but it'll be used to make one out of normal swing and other things together.
Perfect parry doesn't exist. You could do normal parry.
Yeah, that's the idea. Because I want to eventually make normal technique from a bunch of different normal things.
Problem is, if you want to use the peak narrative for the proper sound, that's a completely different branch of research and fighting. So it's based off of the right sound of swinging your sword. You know, remember that when you discovered that? That one's completely separate from the normal swing, because normal swing.
Yeah, but it helped me find the normal swing better. It's
Sure.
I'm trying to get the sound so I know when I am parrying.
Parry is much more involved than normal swing.
Yeah, so it might not allow me to start training it yet, but it might let me find a direction for learning more sounds to do it.
Sure. We're gonna try and keep those separate, because
the sounds
you can suck at parrying, but still get normal parry. Like, it could be the worst sound, but you're still parrying successfully. The perfect parry, that's very different.
No, I'm looking for normal parry, not perfect parry.
Yeah, this will help you on your way.
Okay.
You just have to you need to do a bit more research into picking that up. Now that you're going further down the pinnacle, the minimum requirements to building it is you need all 4 check marks in parry, you need parry mastery, and you need to have complete mastery over parry.
I've got parry mastery 1 of 2 now. I do have the 4 check marks after these training sessions.
Yeah, you need Is that one also? Oh, you have one of two now?
Yeah, one of two from that one.
Okay, yeah. Once you get the second one, you can then go into your study of completely mastering pairing, because you'll need that. Basically following the same pinnacle blueprint that we're doing with John's character, who has how many? So he's very involved in the pinnacle skills. So you need to find a way to master pairing in all cases. Mm-hmm. So once you've gained the mastery check mark, you'll have to go into further research.
Okay. So up to 4 pillars with function as broader meaning and leveling up to scale. Okay. Okay, so it would be a new pinnacle skill based on what John is saying there. Because I would be.
Oh, did John send you a helping text?
And the private lobby text, yes.
Okay. John, if you want to pipe in here, go ahead.
I pretty much said what I had meant to say there. It was just there was some clear confusion on the definition of pillar in this context. Pillar
I knew
is
what I wanted, but
yeah, pillar is effectively the level of a pinnacle skill, which functions as broadening its definition and meaning for you. Whereas a new pinnacle skill is an entirely different thing to work on. It's entirely
same like a different tree, right?
It's a different tree. Yeah, you're starting a new skill tree entirely. Which is
can't you use a pinnacle skill as a pillar though?
Yeah, but you need to have an overarching thing. Like you haven't built the overarching thing yet. Normal swing is your overarching thing, but what would normal swing be a part of? If you're going to use it as a pillar, it needs to be supporting something.
Be like
but you don't have it.
Technique, which is what I would be.
Normal combat.
Yeah, normal combat, which would be something that I would make out of the other ones after I get enough accumulated.
Then they wouldn't be pillars. They would be separate individual single pillar pinnacle arts you have that you would try and wrap together into one greater one. But
like braiding.
Yeah, braiding, but it's going to make it so much harder to make normal combat.
So, would you recommend making normal combat out of normal swing by adding more pillars to it?
Well, that's the thing. Your character doesn't know shit about pinnacles.
Or normal.
This is very meta information.
Yeah, but I understand the sound, which is why I'm going about it this way. Because I heard the perfect sound. So
you heard the perfect sound not for pairing, but for a sword. Yeah, sword contact. Basically, two objects colliding with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with parry. It's just the ideal contact point.
Okay.
Because pairing is so involved. There are so many ways to do it.
Okay.
The most ideal way to build a pinnacle is you start off with an overarching idea, and you build the things underneath it. Yeah, basically follow John's example.
So that's what I'm not understanding, I guess. So if is not trying to learn normal parry, building something underneath normal combat.
No, that would be it. Yeah, it'd be building it under normal combat. But your normal combat right now is normal swing.
Yes, but if I build more separate pinnacle skills, I could use those as pillars for.
Yeah, you can. But you're going to have to figure out what is complete understanding and mastering of pairing first.
Yep, and I've just started on that, so I'm not saying that this is happening immediately.
Okay. Well, we found what your overarching pillar is.
Yes.
Or your overarching idea is normal combat, which is rather silly. That's going to be so fucking involved.
Yep. Not going to happen tomorrow, but...
Okay, I'm going to, swing.
D rolls. That's not helpful.
Okay. This is interesting though. Should I keep the 1? Because I'm working on my new flow thing. So I think I would like to keep that with a major narrative.
Major or peak?
Peak, yeah. I'm gonna use some of my narrative pool. I'm gonna use 5 points. But I'm gonna re-roll the 29 first.
For my edification, Lyron, when you're swinging at him, is there that 50% chance that you have a perfect?
I'm not swinging. I'm just parrying his attacks right now.
Okay.
So it's Lar that's attacking me.
I'm on the offense. He's on the defense.
Okay.
To work on my technique, though, I would also need to be hit for the parrying thing, though, right? For the flow.
There's a lot that goes into flow,
Yeah,
because it's all about converting energies.
I figured there would be footworks as well, stuff.
Yeah.
So
we could train.
But you haven't read the transcript. Like you're not really learning flow because you haven't actually read it.
Okay.
You guys are just exchanging swords.
That's fair. I figured to myself like I was doing both at once, but you're right. I should actually read it.
You haven't looked at the training manual.
I said I took it out and started it, but you know what? I was like, all right, I'm going to do that and practice with Lion at the same time. But those aren't going to work out together.
Well,
so
you got to read it first and then practice what you read.
Hey, you read the title, "Flowing Swords." Duh. Knows exactly what's going on.
Okay.
It is pretty spooky though, because you swinging a sword at Lyron, it'll break his sword 100% of the time without that sound barrier. And then,
of course,
it's carving that sound energy away.
Yep. Luckily, I got plenty of sound barrier that can be refreshed by attack.
That's fine. So, what's the order of operations here? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to re-roll this 29 because it was a pass. I'm using Desperate for Failure. I've rolled an 89, and now I'm re-rolling the 89 with the Fate point, Twin Fate. If it's over a 50-50 here, it is 100. Okay, so that's 100, and then I get a 1 directly after it. So what I was thinking here is my sword shatters in the hit. I unlock 10 out of 10 for... let me copy and paste. This. I use my peak narrative, 5 points, on the 100 for the 10 out of 10 breakpoint. And then I roll a 1 directly after. And with those, with another 5 points on the 1, what can I do with that? Can I do anything with that, Matt? Could I use it like my sword breaks, it shatters, but within that that Edge of Ruin and Spine, the sharded breakpoints like smack into the sound shield. And it acts as like a hit, like from the broken sword itself, from the shattered sword.
I'm gonna have you be very specific because this is where you're
this is like a build upon.
Well, you're dipping into something the other players haven't touched on in the other group.
Yeah.
So this is called compounding talent. So you've discovered this really cool sword path, We've also found something unique about the sword, which has further compounded your talent, because you can practice the sword path without understanding breakpoints.
Right. Exactly. If I didn't roll those 100s and utilize that narrative, I wouldn't have figured out it in the first place and then expanded upon it.
It's also your Tao.
Yeah.
You have a unique insight, because who the fuck picks the Tao of failure on the path?
Only failures would
maybe
pick that,
one other dude, because reasons. So you're going to get a unique insight, because there's a lot of people who try and figure out how to undergo the sword destruction. Like that guy you helped. He hates swords, but he destroys them in a different way.
Yeah, he adds
Yours
them together.
is fuck this sword. And you also build vulnerability over time, which is ruinous to a sword fighter. Imagine, because if you've ever read a lot of Wuxia novels and cultivators, there's in some cases there's the description of I'm going to beat him within 300 moves.
Right.
That guy doesn't have fucking 300 moves. That guy has somewhere in the veracity of less than 100 moves, because fumble builds.
Yeah.
And that's 300 exchanges and clashings of the blade. He's like, no. There's going to be maybe 4 or 5, even 6 times he fumbles.
I think I got this.
Well,
what I'm doing is I've shattered the sword into a bunch of different little pieces. These little pieces are the sword. Originally, its form was it broke. I'm hitting the shield. I'm hitting the sword that has now shattered. The hit is still happening, but it's multiple different hits are happening to the sword at once.
Well, I was going to give you a series of options.
Okay. That's the first one that came to mind, and I was just thinking it's a one way to use one and then hit it with multiple, and then it would stack fumble things at the same time. But okay, let's hear options.
You've done your usual chicanery.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny, where you have everything just ready to turn over to the next thing, and then you combine all of your bonuses, all your power ups, all into that one. Aha! I've accomplished this. Suck it. You've done this a lot in just about every game you play. So we're back here again. So compounding of talent is kind of like forging your research path forward, because when you achieve this breakpoint discovery, where it's now more reliable, you can really rely on it and have it be something consistent almost. You then rolled the 1.
Right after.
You put 5 merit points on it.
Yeah.
So there's more realization that you come from it. It's not just you can control the shards. That's absolutely one way. There's also a path of research into sword aura that you can go into, because at the end of the day, once you get your sword aura hard enough and dense enough, it can just be its own sword. It doesn't even have to be connected to a real sword. You can just form an energy blade in your hand like a lightsaber.
Yeah, like my fire, for example, because that's pretty much what I'm doing with these swords. Is I can apply my fire to the sword, and it's a combination of both.
The sword is also an extension of self, and one of the major realizations you can look into is sword infection. When you clash with another person, your sword aura is an extension of yourself, but it's a really sharp, vicious thing. Cutting into someone else's aura also infects them with your sharpness. You can have the blade continue to cut every time, so long as they're infected with your sharpness. That's a path you can go down.
Yeah.
You can actually go down a rare path called Sword Tyrant or Sword Dominance. It's a really cruel path of the sword. Basically, swords are there for you to break. A sword is only a sword if you can't break it. Otherwise, swords aren't real. They're just
Yeah.
sticks that just break.
I'm just trying to think of too of the advice that Master Student gave on like swords aren't real. You know what I mean? Like that's
there's also the sword fear path you can go down, where not the person, the swordsman who wields the sword fears you. The sword itself in their hand becomes afraid of you. Because they know if they clash with you, they might break. They might die. Because a lot of the time, the sword's left over after you kill the swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
So some swords are built so well, they're handed down from generation to enemy to thief to Tomb Raider to then the next heirloom of the family. They go through a whole series, and that's what makes them powerful. They have a story. They've been in the hands of many people and have accomplished many feats, and it's eventually it's like, oh my gosh, it's that sword that's been lost to thousands of years, but people still remember it.
Yeah.
You would be able to kill a sword. Kills its story, which people will go, isn't that the guy who broke that sword? Yeah, that legendary sword? Yeah. So there's that route.
I want you to hear me out on this. What comes to mind is the technique of broken pottery, of where it's a Japanese technique where you can.
I know the one where they put it back together with gold.
Yes, and that really resonates with this broken thing here. It's almost like I break the sword, it shatters into however many pieces. And then I use my flame or whatnot to kind of hold them together again as if it was one sword. Like so it's a way I could understand what it means to be broken and then put myself back together again. In this case, the sword. It's almost like a rebirth. Like I was thinking of the Phoenix is what really came to mind with that. Is that something I could do, or is that something I should just continue on to what, like for what you were saying for options? Like, what do you think of that?
That is a path you can take. That one's very obscured. We'll have to walk that together if you really want to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be more of a self-discovery.
Because you're also going down the path of alchemy. That doesn't really match very well with the fire and sword idea, because you want to be a smith or a swordsmith. Because you could do a horrifying thing where you make a Frankenblade.
Right. Put all different pieces together. Yeah.
You collect the most ideal, perfect remaining pieces. Like the one piece that's like, this 1% of the sword that the craftsman
everything else shattered, but
actually worth. This endured. This is the only worthy part of the blade, and then you just build these Frankenblades out of other people's swords, but you'd need to be a swordsmith or something. Alchemy might be able to help you melt them down and maybe distill out,
like an essence of some kind.
Yeah. You could do that. You could be a harvester of swords, and you basically harvest sword soul, sword. Basically, you could feed dead swords to your new sword.
I love
through
it.
Alchemy.
That sounds great, because that would allow me to utilize my sword of McFlamer that has been shattered. The first one I shattered.
No, rip that sword. That sword is going to feed your next sword.
Right, exactly. That's the thing, and I would be able to do that. Okay, all right.
This would be Path of the Sword Reaper or Path of the Sword. If you can give it a name, however you want, but that you would go out of your way to kill other people's swords. You can even leave the swordsman alive and be like, yes, I've killed what I came here for, and they're like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck is going on?
Can you still fight, or have you failed, sir?
Then hit him with a Dow fight, and you're just like, your sword broke. Your argument does not matter. Well, what about this? Your sword broke. It doesn't matter.
All of the sword.
Call yourselves a swordsman? You've already been invalidated, because where's your sword? My aura blade. Yeah, we're gonna break that now. You fool, you shouldn't have shown it to me. I hunger.
Can you please just go after the Sword Saint?
You know, you would be able, uniquely, if you built this up high enough, to kill the Sword Saint.
It's almost like a reversal of being the path of this, like the Sword Saint. It's like the opposite of a Sword Saint. It's
just
it's very failure.
Path of the Sword Sunder.
So, also, I did get to 250 on my sound portfolio with that one.
Nice. It's all coming together.
Yes.
GM, you are about to. You're running out of time. Out now.
Running out of time.
I got about less than 10 minutes. Go ahead and put into the Discord chat and into this chat that you've reached the 250 point, Mr. Lai Rooney, for your 250 progress. For Laurie, Mr. Lar, go ahead and put in kind of an idea of where you want to go, because this, you don't get compounding of talent often, because once you only ever reach that when you hit a wall.
Yeah.
And you're like, where do I go from here? I'm talented, but I've hit the wailing wall. I need a catalyst. I need enlightenment. I need this. I need that. And I've got all this other stuff going on, and I don't really know what to do with it. This will be a pretty strong connection to your talent, to your breaking point, to your alchemy, and to your swordsmanship. So this is kind of the jagged line that zigzags back and forth and connects all this stuff.
Yeah, I look at it as like a puzzle. We've just put all the pieces together, and now we can add on to the puzzle later on.
A very big part of your identity.
Because
when you go for gold, sword needs to be, or the killing of swords or something, when you solidify your down name, should be in there. Because otherwise, what you built is not going to be very strong. It's going to hit a wall itself because your whole being isn't connected to it. So, very much keep that in mind when you build your down name. Because that ghost, that phantom, will show up again and go, that's not us.
Yeah, which is why I was thinking Path of the Phoenix would be interesting, like for the sword itself, what I'm doing here.
The sword doesn't come back. You're feeding it to another blade.
Yeah.
There's no sword rebirth with you. In fact,
hunger.
All blades die forever.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yes, you'll never put this blade together because I took the most important piece and then I fed it to my other blade. And they're like, oh, fuck. Aragorn never gets his sword because if you break that special blade, they can never put it back together.
So my sword. Oh well, then I'll just take it out of your sword. Yes. Well, I broke that sword too. Now it's lost forever.
We use
also put in the chat that you've completed your 10 out of 10, and I need to get you the breaking point. Deliciousness.
Because that was pretty much the 10 out of 10 was our catalyst, which then finished off the 2,500 to 2,500 Path of the Sword 5. So that completed that, which is what we've been discussing.
The breaking point can be, if you want it to be, but it's almost its own evolution.
Okay.
You're just going to evolve the breaking point, is what that is, really.
All right.
Or you can kind of keep the breaking point where it is and use it as an enlightenment for the next part in the sword. It's up to you.
Gotcha. So 100 and then 2 ones, 2 peak narratives.
Well, the one gets you your D4. The peak narrative gave you the compoundment of enlightenment. with
Oh,
the
it was
one.
it was a double one. Don't forget. It was for perfect practice makes perfect.
Well, it's
It's
2d4
then.
Yeah. So give it a name. Kind of build your own research on it. Because what you've done is you've opened the door and you put your foot in it.
Yeah.
You also have to kind of figure out as you peer through the crack in the door what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And then figure out how to open it completely, and then all the metaphors of stepping in, making the space your own, mastering the space, looking for the next door.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So,
We've rolled a 51 there for the 100. Oh man.
You might need inorganic alchemy or death alchemy. Yeah, you might have to be a death alchemist with a bit of inorganic subspecialty.
Well,
which is going to be really hard to do.
Well, yin. That's where I'm going to look at for that.
Maybe like.
All right. I guess that was 2 DTS.
Yes. Dose DTS. 1 minute remaining.
All right. Sorry for the sword session, guys. I got my buddy over, and I got work almost. Fuck, it's a messy weekend, and he's only here until the end of the day. I'm going to be probably, depending on the schedule. John, if you're listening, I might have to start tonight's session late, and it may only end up being from 9 to 12.
Okay.
Because today is a complete mess.
Just keep us updated.
Okay, I'll put a note in the chat right now.
Ping me whenever you are good to start. I am good for the rest of the day.
Okay. I'm going to put it in chat. No. You guys are the... Blue Seekers of the Dow. Yes. Seekers of the Dow. Might need to do a late start tonight. Pending. Plain folks, sorry for the short session, but real life went.
He's okay.
Hit me in the nuts.
Pick it up next week.
Well, for next week for Chun Po, I will be in Waukesha, Wisconsin on trainings for my career.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be next week and probably the week after because I'll be driving back the Sunday after. This month was shit for me. I apologize.
Do you want us to continue on without you, Chung Po, to get through some of the months?
We're gonna have to.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I will catch up, and I will do. Depending on what you all are doing, I will be doing training. So I'm guessing.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, I'm excited for the.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Bye.
Right. See you guys.
See you.
You guys can continue chatting. I'm the one.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just stopping the recording.